Whew, it has been a busy couple of weeks. I know I have not been posting much, but and excuse how I look. I'm exhausted and I will be going to bed soon. So you get what you get. But I was intending to do a little video on the process of relocation, the shipping part of relocation. So in July, we shipped about 47 boxes to Japan and they arrived last week. So I have been busy putting things away. So we did two different types of shipping. So one was air shipping, which was the last one that we did, which arrived first because it's faster. And then the shipping, we sent back in July and it just got here last week. So it took a while and it was in customs for weeks, as they kind of, went through the approval process. It was a little tedious because although I was being really careful about documenting everything, writing the list, what's in the box, putting everything, I learned to put like things in the same box to make it easy, and things like that. But even at that, we had to go and revise about 3 or 4 times because, the shipping company we used, Yamato, very popular shipping company in Japan, but we used them and, they would have questions about, oh, what's this on line so-and-so? Like, what is that? And what is it made of? And how many? And because there's all these rules about, what you can bring based on what the item is. Medications, certain medications you can have like maybe 90 days worth or something like that. And you have to check, with the country that you're going to find out, what medications are allowed and things like that. That's just one example. But one of my biggest shockers in my ship was that like my spices. Oh my goodness. The food part of my shipment was a nightmare because I did not know prior to starting the whole packing process that, so when you're checking off the list, and I'm going to post to show you what the form looks like. When you're checking the list off, you kind of write like what the item is. Is it a new item or a used item? Yada, 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 right? So for food, of course, I had packed some things and like if it was open, then I was like, okay, that's used. But no, that's not how they mean new or used. All food would be new. Anyway, it was a little confusing. So that was one issue. Then one of the most complicated ones, as I mentioned, was like my spice box. I have so many spices and I use them all. I don't overspice things, but I like good tasting food, right? So I had a huge box of spices. Then, they called and they were like, okay, so we have to double check because granules are not allowed. Any spices that are granules. I was like, oh my goodness. So then I had to go back through all of my spices and pull things out, right? That was one thing. Do a whole series on spices by itself. And about how I had to go through those and check them. But anyway, I was so happy that my spices arrived. But it was the one box out of 47 boxes that customs actually opened and went through it. There was like this yellow tape like all around it, how they went in and they were like checking and verifying everything. Because I'm sure when they were scanning that, they were like, who uses that much spice? Like, really? Let's just look into this. And it's just my cooking spices. That's it. But that was the one box that got kind of torn through and inspected closer. Although things were, my things were in customs for weeks. But anyway, I was happy that it all arrived. And we really didn't have, much loss when it came to like things getting broken or stuff like that. I think maybe a frame or something like that, but nothing too much. So that's kind of what I've been busy doing. It's really important to kind of check between air and ship again to see the differences and what can go which way. And the reason why this is so particular is because for relocation, when you're bringing your personal items, you don't have to pay, duty tax on it. So it's very important because that can be really, really expensive. So they just want to make sure that you are in fact bringing things that are your, personal items. You're not like bringing things that you're going to bring to resale or, something like that. So, you just have to make sure that you're supplying all of the proper information to make it as fast and efficient
as possible. And well, that wraps up our shipping and relocation story time.
I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.